We always try to understand the world by looking at the big picture, right? But what if the real secret to explaining everything was to start with the absolute smallest pieces?
I mean, that's a massive question, isn't it? Seriously, how would you even begin to describe everything you see and feel and do, all the tools, the ideas, the connections? Where would you possibly start?
Okay, what if I told you that a really powerful answer to that massive question could be found in this number, 850? Yeah, that's it. Just 850 words. I know, it sounds kind of impossible, right? But stick with me here, because to really get this, we've got to start with just one. So to wrap our heads around that big number, we're actually going to do the exact opposite of what you might expect. We're going to zoom way, way in on one single, perfectly simple word. Something so common you've probably never even given it a second thought. That's our word. Our starting point for explaining the world is the humble word wire. And we're going to look at it through a very specific lens, using its entry in the Simple English Wiktionary. Now, just look at the definition itself. Notice how incredibly clear it is. It doesn't need to use a bunch of other complex words to explain itself. It's simply a long, thin metal thing, describing what it is and what it does in the most basic terms possible. And the verb form? It's exactly the same deal. To join a wire to something. Again, perfectly simple, direct, you get it instantly. But, and this is the important part, the real secret isn't in these definitions. It's actually hidden in plain sight right on the very same page. On that Wiktionary entry, right up near the top, there's this one little sentence. It's so easy to miss if you're not looking for it, but it's the clue that unlocks this whole big idea we started with. And boom, there it is. Wire is on the basic English 850 list. All of a sudden, that one sentence connects our simple little word to a much, much bigger system. And, of course, that immediately makes you ask, exactly. Seeing that clue just makes you stop and think, wait a minute, what is this list? And what in the world does it mean for a word like wire to be a part of it? Okay, so let's zoom back out for a second. We've seen the single tiny building block, the word wire. Now let's look at the entire structure it's a part of, the Basic English 850. So Basic English, or BE 850, is what's known as a controlled language, and it was actually created way back in the 1930s. Now, controlled language is just a fancy way of saying it's a simplified version of English, with a really limited vocabulary and simpler grammar. It uses a super carefully selected set of just 850 core words, designed to be enough to express pretty much any idea. The whole point was to create this powerful tool for clear international communication. So the key idea to get here is that this is not just a random list of easy words, not at all. It's a complete interlocking system. Think of it like a toolkit, designed for maximum efficiency with the absolute minimum number of parts, which brings us right back to where we started. So let's see how this whole system actually works in practice. Because that simple definition of wire that we looked at a minute ago,
Yeah, that wasn't simple by accident. It was simple by design.
this right here lays out the entire philosophy perfectly. On the left, you've got the wire definition. On the right, the principles of basic English. Just look at how they mirror each other. The definition uses simple vocabulary because the system prioritizes a core set of words. It focuses on function because the system is all about utility. It defines both the object and the action, showing you exactly how the system builds complex ideas from these simple parts. This is the big aha moment. The Simple English Wiktionary isn't just telling you what wire means, but using other basic English words to define it, the entry actually shows you how the entire system works. The definition itself is an example of basic English in action. It's pretty brilliant when you stop and think about it. So, okay, a simple word and a really clever system. But what's the bigger picture here? Why is this idea of a small core language so powerful? Well, its power is all about accessibility. I mean, for someone learning English, it's not some impossible mountain to climb. It's a clear path forward. For international teams, it becomes a shared language that cuts way down on costly misunderstandings. But maybe what's most important, even for native speakers, is that it's a kind of mental tool, a way to strip our own complex ideas down to their essential, powerful core. It really leaves us with a fascinating thought. This system proves that with just a small, powerful toolkit, you can build a shared understanding of the world. So it kind of makes you wonder, if you focused on the core, essential parts of your own work, your own ideas, what could you build?